that every one of you must have a wonderful journey doing the Brajamandala Parikrama, wandering in the troll forest of Vrindavan by the blessings of our Guru Parampara and the eternal associates of the divine couple. So today we spend the time wandering around the Bhaktivedanta ashram and looking at the Govardhan hill. So those spiritual warriors who made our journey successful today was Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji. I think we may have gone to the temple. We have a youth program once a last Saturday of the month. So some devotee has gone to the temple. Vrajeshwari Priya Devidasi, Govinda Gita Devidasi, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Kasturi Mantri, Sikshastika Devidasi. I didn't see Parmeshwari Devidasi. Maybe I may have missed her. Amol and Smita Panchpande, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, Girivar Dhari Prabhu, Shriya Devidasi, Sitala Priya Devidasi, Sachinandan Krishna Prabhu, Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, Hanuman Prabhu, Prathamesh Prabhu, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Saman Prabhu, Leela Manjari Mataji, Raga Bhakti Mataji, Sugandh Raj Prabhu, Aradhana Devidasi, Janki Khan Prabhu, Labanga Latika Mataji, Tapti Ghosh Mataji, Manmandha Anand Prabhu, Sundari Radha Mataji, Parmanand Hari Prabhu, Nandan Priya Mataji, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji, Shekha and Pankaj Gupta, Rohit Mishra Prabhu, Saraswati Devidasi, Sumitra Radha Mataji, Devendra Krishna Prabhu. I think Divyansh and Saloni may have gone to the temple. Vraj Vinod Prabhu, Anand Vinodini Mataji, Priyanka Mataji, Rukmini Priya Mataji, Devi Murthy Devidasi. I didn't see Kishore Krishna Prabhu today, Haribol. Namanand Prabhu, Prem Vinodini Mataji, Madhvi Gopi Mataji. I haven't seen Ganga Devi Mataji for a couple of days, Haribol. Uttam Bhakta Prabhu, Vallabhi Mataji, Rajendra Prabhu, Abhay Prabhu, Shwedhi Prabhu, Vijay Prabhu, Amal Atman Prabhu, Gadadhar Chandra Prabhu, Tulsi Priya Devidasi, Jai Govinda Prabhu, Bhadra Bharati Mataji, Sarvatarak Prabhu, Amal Nam Prabhu, Govinda Mohini Devidasi, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Karunamai Mataji, Radha Charan Prabhu, Abhay Charan Prabhu, Sukruti Devidasi, Kamini Priya Mataji, Sankarsan Prabhu and Manjar, Sundari Leela Devidasi, Sarmishta Sahi, Mamta Mataji. I didn't see Balram Prabhu today. Radha Valla Prabhu joined early, Haribol. Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Harikatha Mataji, Pitambar Priya Prabhu, Chintamani Devidasi, thank you very much for joining. Amit and Priya, Prem Priya Padma Mataji, Suchitra Mataji. Shri Kumar Prabhu joined around 3 o'clock, 3:15, something like that, very early. Kanta Mataji, Rashmi Mataji, Srinivas Charan Prabhu, Shri Kansurvase Prabhu, Nissan Sharma Prabhu, Nitya Navali Devidasi, Neeraj Srivastav Prabhu, Prafulanand Madhav Prabhu, Sripad Lalita Devidasi. I didn't see Akshata today, Haribol. Vani Prabhu, I didn't see Vani Prabhu. Lekha Mataji. Also, we are missing Thaneswar Prabhu for a couple of days. Radhika Bhakti Mataji. We didn't see Rupsi Mataji. Himangini Chauhan Mataji also didn't join. Sri Padma Manjari Mataji joined around 2 or 3 today in the morning. Haribol. Ram Krishna Prabhu and Lata Mataji. Pragya Nagpal. Sudhir Krishna Prabhu, Sakhi Saran Devidasi, Anita Saha, very punctual, she joined always on time from Dhaka. We didn't see Murli Gopal Prabhu, Sarva Shakti Devi Dasi. Sneha also joined before I joined today. Haribol. Rati Vilas Dasi. I didn't see Madela Ramkrishna Prabhu. Camilla Wilson from Guatemala. Shankari Kaur Devi Dasi. Sorry if I have missed your name, but let's hear the wonderful song before we will read from the Jaiva Dharma.
Tumi sarve sare sara Rajendra Kumar 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 Tomara chaya vise Jana samhara tomara chaya vishe Shri Jana samhara tomara chaya vishe Shri Jana samhara Tumi sarve sare sara Rajendra Kumar Tumi sarve sare sara Rajendra Kumar Tava ichha mata brahma karana sirjana Tava ichha mata brahma karana sirjana Tava ichha mata brahma karana sirjana Tava ichha mata brahma karena sida Tava ichha mata Vishnu karena palana Tava ichha mata Vishnu karena इच्छा माता विष्णु करना पालाना तव इच्छा माता विष्णु करना पाला तुमी सर्वे सारे सारा sarve sare sara Rajendra Kumar Tava ichha mate shiva karana samhara Tava ichha mate shiva karana samhara mate shiva karana samhara Tava ichha mate shiva karana সংহার তব ইচ্ছা মতে মায়া সিরজে কারা গারা মতে মায়া সিরজে কারাগার ইচ্ছা মতে মায়া সিরজে কারাগার তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা সারবে সারে সারা রাজেন্দ্র কুমার তব ইচ্ছা মতে জীবে জনম মরণ তব ইচ্ছা মতে জীবে জনম মরণ জনম মরণ তব ইচ্ছা মতে জীবে জনম মরণ সমৃদ্ধি নিপাত দুঃখ সুখ সংঘটন 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 তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা রাজেন্দ্র কুমার মিছে মায়া বদ্ধ জীবন আশেপাশে ফিরে 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 তব ইচ্ছা বিনা কিছু কহিতে না পারে তব ইচ্ছা বিনা কিছু করিতে না পারে তব ইচ্ছা বিনা কিছু কহিতে না পারে তব ইচ্ছা বিনা কিছু করিতে না পারে তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা রাজেন্দ্র কুমার তুমি তর খকয়ার পালকয়া মা তুমি তর খকয়ার পালকয়া মা তুমি তর খকয়া
পালকয়া
তুমি তারা কয়ানা পালকয়া
তোমার চরণ বিনা আশা নাহি আর
তোমার চরণ বিনা আশা নাহি আর।
তোমার চরণ বিনা আশা নাহি আর
তোমার চরণ বিনা আশা নাহি আর।
তুমি সর্বে সারে সার
তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা
নিজবল চেষ্টা প্রতি ভরসা ছাড়িয়া
নিজ বল চেষ্টা প্রতি ভরসা ছাড়িয়া
নিজবল চেষ্টা প্রতি ভরসা ছাড়িয়া
নিজ বল চেষ্টা প্রতি ভরসা ছাড়িয়া
তোমার ইচ্ছায় আসি নির্ভর করিয়া
তোমার ইচ্ছায় আছি নির্ভর করিয়া
তোমার ইচ্ছায় আছে নির্ভর করিয়া
তোমার ইচ্ছায় আছি নির্ভর করিয়া
তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা
তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা ব্রজেন্দ্র
ভকতি নদয়তি বিনয়ঙ্কে চানা
ভগতি বিনোদয়তি বিনয়কে
ভকতি বিনদয়তি বিনয়ঙ্কে চানা
ভগতি বিনোদয়তি বিনয়কে
তোমার ইচ্ছায় তারা জীবন মরণ
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 তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা
তুমি সর্বে সারে সারা ব্রজেন্দ্র কুমার।
Thank you very much, Yeshwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song. So we are reading the Jaiva Dharma. Before we read, we would like to offer our humble obeisances at the desk of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who has given us a very detailed explanation of our eternal Dharma, and may his instructions may always reside within the deep core of our heart. So with his blessing, we will be reading the chapter 17 today, Nitya Dharma, Sabandha Avidehi and Prayojana, part 5, the liberation of the Jiva from the prison house of Maya, as we just hear the song of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Everything happened by the will of Krishna. When I was chanting today, the prominent thought was that our present time will become a history later on. So how we live our life, we are living right now, but after a couple of years it will become history. And then we will lament that how come when my body was functioning properly, I didn't take full advantage. Because as the old age will sink in, all kind of troubles will come. And we won't be able to concentrate. So while we are healthy physically, we should really dedicate for the good cause. That was the prominent thought was there. So Vrajanath listened impassively while his grandmother talked to him that night about completing the final arrangement for his marriage ceremony. After supper, he reclined upon his bed until late in the night, still pondering over the status of the pure Jiva. At the same time, in another room, quite different thoughts were keeping his aged grandmother awake. Quote, how can I arouse his interest in his matrimonial affairs? He seems so unconcerned, unquote. However, the thought of Brajanath's grandmother were interrupted by the sudden arrival of the maternal cousin of Brajanath, Vani Madhava. Vani Madhav had been assigned by Vijay Vidyaratna, the father of the prospective bride, to finalize the marriage alliance between Brajanath and his daughter, who was also the paternal cousin sister of Vani Madhav. Vani Madhav, quote, Granny, why delay? Please organize this marriage properly. It is up to you, unquote. Grandmother then expressed her own concern about the situation. Quote, dear boy, you are such an expert in these matters. Why don't you speak to Brajanath and make him understand that he must marry? Every time I bring the subject up, he remains silent, unquote. Vani Madhav was short, with a stumpy neck, dark complexion, and sly, dimly lit eyes. He had the habit of putting his finger in every pie, but managed somehow or other to stay aloof, or at least he pretended to do so. He quickly retorted, quote, Granny, everything will come out fine. I'm only waiting for your permission, and then I can start. I know already what I can accomplish. I can make money by counting the waves upon the sea. Just let me get into this topic with Vrajanath. Ah, yes, Granny, remember, you promised to stuff me full with all those goodies of yours. Hearing from the grandmother that Brajanath was fast asleep, Vani Madhav decided to leave and return the next day. Early the next morning, he showed up carrying a lota, a small kettle-shaped water vessel for his ablutions. From the house, Brajanath entered the courtyard where Vani Madhav was waiting and sat down upon the Chandi Mandap platform in front of the family Devi temple. Seeing Vani Madhav, he spoke with mild surprise. Quote, "My dear brother, what brings you here so early?" Unquote. Vani Madhav got straight to the point. Quote, "Dear elder brother, you have spent a long time studying and teaching the Nyaya scriptures. Your father, Harnath Chundamani, was a renowned scholar, and now you are famous as Pandit. Yet, have you considered that you are also the sole male in your household? Who will inherit these large holdings if you have no male descendant? Big brother, it is the earnest desire of everyone that you marry." Vrajanath, quote, "Dear brother, why do you trouble me so without cause? Since I am nowadays associating with the follower of Sri Gauranga, I have no intentions of entering household life. Family life does not attract me. Having learned to experience immense exaltations in the company of the Vaishnava sadhus in Mayapur, I will either take sannyas, embracing the robes of the renunciate, or at least take full shelter of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. I reveal this fact to you because I consider you a close friend and would ask you to keep them to yourself." Judging Vrajanath's mood, Vani Madhav thought that a straightforward, simple approach would not favor his mission. And thus he decided to take a more devious course. Masking his inner feelings, he said slyly, quote, "I'm here to assist you in anything you want. When you were a student, I carried your books to school and back. Now that you are about to take to the sannyas ashram, I will carry your staff and water pot." Unquote. Hiding their real feelings, men of cunning possess double tongues. They say one thing to one person and twist it around for another, thus causing considerable chaos and contention. Their words are sugar-coated, but their hearts are black with poison. Hearing the sweet sympathy of Vani Madhav and feeling encouraged to trust him, Brajanath said, quote, "Dear brother, I always knew you as a well-wishing and hearty friend. You see, my grandmother is an old-fashioned marriage. She has no knowledge about the serious facts of life, renunciation, and so on. Since discovering someone she thinks would be a good bride for me, she had been scheming tirelessly to drag me into the inferno of family life. If you can persuade her to desist from this plan, I shall remain forever in debt to you. Vani Madhav responded, quote, as long as Sir Mararam, the great arbitrator, is present, no one can force you to act against your will. Elder brother, please open your heart to me and tell me honestly why you have developed such a strong aversion for household life, so that I will be able to defend you vigorously. Who has advised you to embrace renunciation? Vrajanath entrusted Vani Madhav candidly with the whole story of the respected elder Raghunath Das Babaji, the mentor to whom he fled every evening, who was extremely merciful and expert in soothing and cooling the burning pangs of material existence. Being a crooked man with sinister designs, Vani Madhav conspired within himself, quote, now I have it. Now I know his weakness. I will have to make some devious maneuvers to get him back upon the right track. Unquote. Yet aloud he said, elder brother, I will gradually convince grandmother to give up her plans for your marriage. But first, I must return to my house. Vani Madhav started out in the direction of his home, but soon turned around toward Shiva's Angan in Mayapur. Arriving there, he sat down under the fragrant bakul tree, saying to himself in a critical mood, quote, these good for nothing Vaishnavas are the real enjoyers in this world. They live in nice surrounding with blossoming flowers, green shady bowers and wide, clean courtyards. Each has his own bhajan kuti to chant japa away from the public eye. And that is all they have to do. They live like kings and God-fearing people, especially the pious ladies, upon their return from purificatory baths in the Ganga, always bring them fruits, milk, and so on. Such an easy life. Earlier, the caste brahmanas were able to direct this flow of bounty into their own larders by institutionalizing karmakant performances. But the Babajis here now outwitted them and become the latest rage. O Kali Yuga, I salute you. You protect your followers and allow them to live off the fat of the land. Coming here has opened my eyes. Alas, my birth in an elevated aristocratic Kulina Brahmana family is to no avail, because today no one offers us even a glass of water, what to speak of fruits. These charlatan Vaishnavas excuse the scholarly logicians of using word juggling simply for the discussion of material objects, calling them fools. However, even after having studied this science of logic thoroughly, my elder brother Vrajanath has begun to accept the words of these Vaishnavas. That would appear to be it. He is an unfortunate victim who has fallen into their mischievous clutches. But I am Vani Madhav. I will set Brahmanath all right and teach these crooks in leon cloths a lesson. Vani Madhav stopped spewing out mental venom, strolled over to one of the huts and entered. By coincidence, it was the hut of the elderly Raghunath Das Babaji. who was sitting on a simple handmade mat chanting japa. The face being a mirror of the mind, Raghunath Das Babaji saw that Kali Yuga in the form of this young Brahmana boy had entered the hut. Very humble by nature, Vaishnavas consider themselves at all times to be lower than a piece of straw. They tolerate the taunts of inimical persons, wishing them only the best. Though uninterested in seeking respect for themselves, they are always respectful to others. Therefore, Raghunath Das Babaji endearingly asked Vani Madhav to be seated. Vani Madhav was a deadly hater of the Vaishnavas, ignorant of the status of a Vaishnava. He pompously concluded that the elderly Babaji was a Sudra and made a gesture of blessing him by showing him the palm of his hand. Raghunath Das Babaji inquired, quote, "Son, what is your name and what brings you here?" Unquote. In doing so, he addressed Vani Madhav with the more familiar and casual tuning, not with the more respected apni. Enraged at this, Vani Madhav replied with an undignified sneer, quote, "Hey you Babaji, do you think that by just wearing a cocaine, you are now on equal terms with the Brahmanas? Apart from that, I would like to know whether or not you are acquainted with Vrajanath Nyay Panchanana." All the while, Vani Madhav used the familiar to me. Raghunath Das Babaji, quote, "Kindly forgive my offenses and overlook the defects in the language of an old man. Yes, Vrajanath blesses us sometimes with his presence." Vani Madhav, quote, "That man is not as simple as you think he is. He will visit you regularly for some time to win your confidence, and then after observing your practices, carry out his own plans." The Bela Purkuria Brahmana community is antagonistic toward you, Vaishnavas. They have selected Brajanath to come here and find out more about your way of life. You are an elderly man and you should be careful with him. I will visit you from time to time and tell you all about their devious plans against you and your friends. A note of caution for your own good. Brajanath must not know I was here. I will take my leave now. Vani Madhav sidled off in the direction of his home. After lunch, Vani Madhav visited Brajanath, and in the course of their conversation said casually, quote, "Elder brother, I went to Mayapur on some work this morning and unexpectedly met a very aged Vaishnava. I think he was called Raghunath Das Babaji. We exchanged a few courteous words and came to speak about you. He mentioned something so despicable about you that I was shocked. Never before have I heard anyone speak such castigating words about a Brahmana. Finally, he said that he would feed you with the contaminated remnants of all the lower caste and thereby demote you from your Brahminical position. What a shame! If a Pandit like yourself is insulted and you continue to visit him, this will blacken the good name of the entire Brahmana community. Vrajanath was shocked to hear Vani Madhav speak in this manner. Vrajanath had developed firm faith and trust in the Vaishnavas and a growing devotion to Raghunath Das Babaji. Suddenly, and for no recognizable reason, all these feelings become much stronger. Vrajanath turned to Vani Madhav saying, quote, "Brother, today I'm very busy. Tomorrow we can discuss all this at leisure. You had better go home now." Unquote. Vani Madhav left very quickly, and Vrajanath was well aware of Vani Madhav's double-faced character, and although he had studied extensively the polemical methods of logic and rhetoric, he disliked dishonest ways. He had revealed his intimate thoughts about accepting renunciation because of Vani Madhav's alleged willingness to assist him in entering the sannyas ashram. Nonetheless, he now understood Vani Madhav's deeper and malicious motives. Furthermore, it occurred to him that Vani Madhav's scheming intrigue might have been prompted ultimately by some expected personal gain in the matter of his marriage. In addition, the visit to Mayapur might have been made with the intentions of sowing seed of dissension. Vrajanath clasped his hands and earnestly prayed to the Lord, quote, "O Lord, let my faith in the Guru and the Vaishnava become fixed, unshakable, and not to be reduced by the wiles of materialistic and cheaters." Unquote. After being absorbed in philosophical deliberations until late afternoon, at sunset, Vrajanath set out eagerly for Shiva's Angad. After Vani Madhav had left the hut of Raghunath Das Babaji, the elderly Babaji thought thus, quote, "This visitor is a Brahman Rakshas, a very powerful demon. Rakshas Kalim Ashritya Jayante Brahma Yonisu. The demoniac persons will take shelter of Kali Yuga to multiply and be born as Brahmanas. This description properly fits my visitor. He is arrogant, proud of his Brahmana caste, insolent in behavior, inimical to the Vaishnavas, and a hypocrite, making a show of religiosity. This is written all over his face. His narrow shoulders, dim and sly eyes, and cunning Kirkumulukusan, Circumlocution. Maybe somebody can find out the meaning of that. That would be helpful. If not, then I will have to. Then we will get the proper understanding. That word. Reflect his black heart. What a striking distinction between the two. Vrajanath has a lovely nature, and this man rakes after the devil himself. O my Sri Krishna, O Sri Gauranga, please protect me from evil, so I may never have to associate with such man. I must warn Vrajanath against the devious ways of this vicious man. Unquote. When Vrajanath came that evening, Raghunath Das Babaji's affection, which had now greatly increased, encompassed and welcomed him during their greeting embrace. Considerably moved, Vrajanath fell at his feet, his eyes brimming with tears. He remained silent out of shame while Raghunath Das Babaji began, quote, I was visited this morning by a dark-complexioned Brahmana youth who made certain provocative remarks. Do you know this person? Vrajanath, quote, Dear Master, if I may repeat your own words, quote, there are many sorts of human beings, some of whom are so perverted that they enjoy causing anxiety to others. Vani Madhav, I hesitate to add the prefix brother, is a prime example of this kind. I would prefer not to mention his name anymore. His main business is to criticize you in my presence and do blame me in your company, hoping to wage with falsities and lies a rift in our relationship. I hope you were not offended by this upstart. Raghunath Das Babaji. O Krishna, O Gauranga, I'm fortunate to have been in the service of Vaishnavas for a long time, and by their mercy, I'm able to judge between a Vaishnava and a non-devotee. As I have properly assessed everything that happened today, you may drop the topic. Vrajanath, quote, Very well, dear master. Let us forget that fellow. Kindly tell me how the conditioned soul may attain liberation. Raghunath Das Babaji. We find the answer to this question in the 7th sloka of the Dasmula Siksha. Yada Brahman Hariras Galad Vaishnavajanam Kadachit Sampayasyan Tad Anu Gamane Syad Ruchi Yataha Tada Krishna Vrtaya Trajati Sankir Maikadasam Swarupam Bibrano Vimala Rasa Bhogam Sakurute. The conditioned jiva travels high and low throughout the material universe from one species of life to another. When he associates with Vaishnava saint, who is saturated in the flowing ras of devotion to Sri Hari, he gradually develops ruchi for serving the Lord and following the Vaishnava way of life. By chanting Krishna Nam, the jiva becomes purified of his material contamination. Thus, his swarup begins to manifest more and more, and he gradually attains eligibility to relish the nectarious ras of Suddha Bhakti to Sri Krishna. Vrajanath, quote, Master, please cite a few verses from the Vedas to substantiate this sloka. Raghunath Das Babaji, quote, both the Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.2 and Swetswatara Upanishad 4.7 repeat the same sloka. Samane vrukshe purusho nigamno nisaya sochati muhyamanaha justam yada pashyati anyam isam asya mahimanam itavetas sokaha. Although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird, the jiva, is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruit of the tree. However, If in some way or other he turns to his friend, the Lord, and knows his glories, the suffering bird becomes immediately free from all anxieties. Brajanath, quote, do the words, if he turns to his friend, the Lord, and knows his glories, the suffering bird becomes immediately free from all anxiety, describe the liberation of the jiva. Raghunath Das Babaji. The termination of the jiva's captivity within Maya is called mukti, which the person who associates with pure devotees is sure to attain. However, most importantly, one should consider the details of the status that the jiva attains after mukti. The Srimad Bhagavatam 2.10.6 declares as follows: Muktir hitavanya tha rupam swarupena vyavastita. Mukti is the permanent situation of the living entity in his swarup, constitutional transcendental form, after giving up the changeable grass and subtle material bodies. According to this verse, the jiva must give up covering that are his material bodily forms and become permanently situated in his swarup. As soon as the chains of captivity are cut, the process of mukti for the jiva ceases. Then the eternal and endless engagement of the jiva in his swarup, which is the prayojana of the jiva, begins. The state of complete elimination of material suffering may also be called mukti, but the sublime spiritual bliss that the liberated jiva experience by devotional activity upon the spiritual platform far transcend the relief felt by the cessation of material entanglement. The Chandogya Upanishad 8.12.3 describes Evam evaisi samprasado smak sharirat samuthaya param jyoti rupa sampadya swena rupena bhini pasyate sa uttama purusha sa tatra paryati jaksam kridam ramana naha. The liberated jiva transcends the confines of his gross and subtle material bodies and acquires a spiritual form, luminescent with transcendental luster. This is his intrinsic supramundane identity. He is a perfect being and resides in the spiritual world, relishing sublime activities and divine bliss at every moment. Brajanath, quote, what are the symptoms of a jiva mukta, liberated soul? Unquote. Raghunath Das Babaji, quote, the Chandogya Upanishad 8.7.1 mentions 8 symptoms. Ye atma pahata papma vijaro vibrutyur visako vijighastatso pipasaha satya kama satya sankalpaso nwestava vyaha. A person should search out a jivan mukta who is seen to possess these 8 symptoms. Apahata papa, free from all sinful activity and the nuisance of maya. Vijara, free from the miseries of the old age and decay. Vrimrutyu, has conquered death and rebirth. Vishoka is beyond material happiness and distress. Vijighatsa no longer desires material enjoyment. Apipipata has no desire other than the service of the Lord. Satyakam, whose desires are always faultless and directed to the Supreme Truth Krishna, and Satya Sankalpa, whose wishes are always fulfilled by the grace of Krishna. What a wonderful definition, huh? So we can see where we are. Brajanath, the seventh sloka of the Das Mula, mentioned that after wandering through many pieces of life, the fortunate soul meets a pure Vaishnava devotee filled with Krishna Prem. And these events bring about the highest benedictions of the Jiva. My first question is it not true that the practice and cultivation of Brahmagyan, Astanga Yoga, and other pious auspicious activities ultimately leads one to the attainment of devotion to Sri Hari? Raghunath Das Babaji. Here are the Supreme Lord's own words from the Srimad Bhagavatam 11:12, 1 and 2. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Na rodhyayati mam yogo na sankyam dharma evacha na swadhyayas tapas tyago nesta purnam purtam na dakshina vrutani yajanas chandamsi tirthani niyama yamaha yatha varunde satsanga sarva sangapahohi mam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, quote, My dear Uddhava, by associating with my pure devotees, one can destroy one's attachment for all objects of material sense gratification. The devotion developed in such purifying associations bring me under the control of my devotee. One may perform the Ashtanga Yoga system, engage in philosophical analysis of the elements of the material nature, practice non-violence and other ordinary principles of piety, chant the Vedas, perform penances, take to the renounced order of life, execute sacrificial performance and dig wells, plant trees and perform other public welfare activities, give in charity, carry out severe vows, worship the devas, chant confidential mantras, visit holy place, or accept major and minor disciplinary injunctions. But even by performing all such activities, one does not bring me under his control. What a wonderful sentence. So I think we have reached our time. That 7:16, actually 1 minute behind. But today is Saturday. Once a week we have the time for question, comment, correction, chastisements, or sharing something that you may feel in your heart that has helped you, so you can share with other devotees so they can also take advantage. So your reflection, whichever way you feel comfortable, this is the time, and normally we give 20 seconds for somebody to come forward. So here is your 20 seconds.
Prabhu, this is Ram here.
Hari Bol.
Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Prabhu, you have been doing this japa for a long time. I've been doing as well. What are the first biggest benefit you have found after many years? And also you have been through life-changing circumstances like, illness and all. So can you tell just in 1 second or 10 seconds, the biggest benefit you found so far?
I feel very happy.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody has any other question, comment, or any reflections you would like to share? Also, I would like to say that Sarvasakti, Mataji, Vani Prabhu, and also Trupa Alkar. That's, I think, uh, from College Station, I think. And Rajesh Sharma Prabhu has also joined. Welcome. Yeah, practicing devotional life. In the beginning, it seems to be little difficult because we have to flow against the waves of the Maya Devi. So it seems very difficult in the beginning. As my Guru Maharaj used to always give me the simple example that if the water is flowing down, and when we were in the primary school in India, we used to make the paper boats. And my Guru Maharaj says, if you put the paper boats, it will go through with the waves of the water, glide down very easily. But if you have to bring that boat opposite to the current of the water, even to remain at the same space is very difficult. You have to be so fixed that the flow of the water current cannot move you further back. What to speak of making the advancement in the opposite directions? It's beginning, it's difficult. But also lately, yesterday it was a prominent thought came in my mind. I was just dwelling that we should realize one thing. Material life and spiritual life is totally against each other. It never moves alone. So if as a devotee, if we are going to keep one feet into the material life and other feet we want to put into the spiritual life, how long we will be able to sustain that position? Just think about it. Because both things is moving in opposite directions. So unless and until we make a move, it will become at some point unbearable situation. Because how can you, if you have the two boats standing with each other, you put your left leg on one boat and right leg into other boat. Now the boat is going away from each other. How long can you bear the pain? You have to make a decision. Either you go in the left boat or you have to go in the right boat. But I think that it takes some time for the devotees to realize that fact, that this is the real situation. One day we have to make a decision. And when you will make the decision, either way, either you will go further, slide down in the material realms, or you can elevate yourself, because all Acharya song always say one thing, to give up this I and mine. This is the root cause of our suffering in this material world. I remember on the first text of the Nectar of Instructions, there is a paragraph, only 11 lines long. It says, in Anavruti explanation, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj mentions all bodily conceptions of life comes through uncontrolled desire and uncontrolled senses. If someone will take the austerity and penance to control the urge of the senses, he will be called as a tapasvi. And if we will not able to control the urge of the senses, there is no hope that we will be able to survive the influence of Maya Devi. Means Maya Devi will always keep us bound with these three modes of material nature. So all these powerful instructions we have to somehow or other manipulate in our mind, contemplate, put some more thoughts. It is not going to happen overnight. but at least our journey should be clear. Our goals should be very distinct and very clear. And also we have to be practical in a way that we have to see uh, how much we can do successfully. Like I always felt that if we have to see that, okay, I will have to go from the earthly planet to the Goloka Vrindavan is a long journey, then we may not be feeling inspired to take up that journey. But if you feel that, okay, I have to just walk 10 minutes every day, so you just look for the 10 minutes only. And every day you keep constantly doing it, your goal will become easier and easier. And you will feel, yes, I'm making advancement. And the sign of the advancement is we will become more attached with the devotional activity and we will reduce our material activity. That's the perfect sign. Or in one sense, that if we have realized the holy name is everything, then we should focus our mind and heart for the simple activity much, much more. And slowly we should increase the time of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because all our Acharya has taken that route. And ultimately when we go back to the Godhead in Goloka Vrindavan, that's the only thing we have to do. Play with Krishna in whichever swarup we have, our relationship. But everything will always be accompanied by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So something that we know that eternally we have to become attached. So slowly we should just put all our effort for that activity. And then, as I said, you will not feel that you are missing anything in this material world. You will be completely satisfied. Whatever the circumstances may come in our life, that doesn't make any difference. As long as we will be able to chant the holy name, that's the only thing we should be worried about. All other things is temporary. It will keep on changing. Nothing will give us the eternal happiness except we create the taste of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I spoke quite a bit. Anybody else has to say anything? Some reflection. So many wonderful devotees are here.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Haribol,
Pranam Prabhu.
Sarvatarak Prabhu, Haribol.
Harival. So actually, I feel so happy once I connect with your group in chanting. So really, you are pulling me out of ignorance. So sometimes, actually, personally, I know so many material distraction, but still, we are afraid of the circumstances like the disease and physical problems or other problems in our family life.
Yes.
That actually sometimes make afraid or scary.
Yes.
I cannot sometimes come out, though sometimes we try to give more attention to chanting or doing devotional service, but still some shadow of this material disturbance giving us so much pain. Sometimes I feel how I can overcome.
Yes, I think Sarvatarak Prabhu, wonderful question. I think one thing we need to realize that if we can cure all the problem with our own strength, then why we are suffering? So we have to realize that no matter what we do on our own strength is not going to solve any problems. We can try, like sickness comes, different things, problem comes. But do we know that we can solve the problem ourselves? I don't think so. It's just destined that because we have performed some activity and we have to suffer the reaction for this. So I think in the disturbed conditions, we have to have a complete faith in Krishna, that whatever you are doing is very pleasing to me because I'm getting purified by whatever the difficulty is coming. We should feel happy and jubilant to walk through the difficult time. And once you do that, your frame of mind is set like this, that what choice do I have? You know, I have seen Sarvatarak Prabhu, so many people, that they have to suffer certain amounts of difficulties, that they have to suffer. Prabhupada used to say, like, you know, the people will say, oh, I can't see the hungry people. But Prabhupada used to say that, you know, helping these people, like you have the burn boils, and just to help the person, you just blow little air. As long as you blow the air, that person may feel little better, but it's not the real solution. So similarly, if something that destined to happen, that person like has to remain hunger for some duration of time, that destined, he has to suffer it. No matter if you feed that person, that delay the process, that's all you are doing. But that person has to suffer that hunger in his life. So everything, if you see that today's song was perfectly wonderful. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that, you know, without your will, nothing will happen. Lord Brahma is creating this world because of your will. You want him to create this material world. The Vishnu is going to maintain because this is your desire to maintain. And you have the desire that Shiva should destroy it. So everything in this material world, from creation to the annihilation, everything works under the will of Krishna. So we have to try to understand that this is the way Krishna wants me to live. And one thing also we should, when we go through this difficult time, with unflinching faith in the words of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we realize that we have to go through those suffering, nothing we can do. So rather than carrying the anxiety in the mind, try to resolve those issues, just accept the fact and live simple life. And whatever it comes on our way, just accept the way of the life. You know, like it's an amazing, when we are young, we won't understand what the elderly person has to go through. It's terrible when we will get old. You know, we don't have any remembrance, will be so weak that if you put something somewhere, you won't remember where did you put it. Who knows what our future will bring. But one thing is for sure, that whatever is going to happen in our life, do we have any choice? That question we should ask. Do we have any choice? No, we don't have any choice. So rather than just taking the burden on our mind, hey, why this thing happened? Let me do this to resolve this thing, because so many problems comes. We try to find the solution. But that solution, it's written. When the proper timing will come, those anxiety will go away in our life slowly and slowly. And I still like the, you know, His Holiness, Guru Govinda Swami Maharaj. He used to tell that only one good things we have to do is absorb ourselves more and more and relate more and more with Krishna. All other thing, Maharaj even says that, you know, no even disease will enter into your body. Nothing is required. Krishna will maintain. It says, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, that who is the maintainer of us? Krishna is the maintainer. He is the protector. But because we don't have the complete faith, we are looking the shelter somewhere else and wasting our energy actually. But if we completely keep the faith, because one thing is there, through my sicknesses, what choices do we have? When you have hundreds of medical experts will be with you on the side of your bed, and they will tell you, we can't do anything. So ultimately it is that fact. And if we have to live in this material world, then no matter what it comes, nothing can hurt us. So that we have to realize in our life. And once you take it seriously that this is what how Krishna wants me to live, he is my dear friend. And this is how, just to maintain my love for him, I should sacrifice certain difficulties in my life. And eventually, you will see, Sarvatarak Prabhu, that you will relish those difficulties rather than feeling that why this difficulty come in my life. Look at the Kunti Devi. She is praying to Krishna that every step of my life, you please bring me the miseries. So I will never forget you. And what happened when we never forget Krishna? We go back home, back to Godhead. So this is the simple process. You know, we should, in the song was saying that we can't do anything, living being. We are so much, entrapped with Krishna's energy. But Krishna has given the solution to us that if you take shelter of me, you will cross over all these problems. And that's a fact. You just see those saintly persons, Look at Prabhupada's life, right? He had 3 heart attacks. Krishna protected him. And when the time comes, he gladly, so nicely, even reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, he left his body. Now, suffering was there. Externally, if you see, he was not able to move his limbs. But internally, in the consciousness of dear Srila Prabhupada, he was totally transcendental. He was not feeling any suffering. So we will get the suffering because we have engaged our soul in material atmosphere. Once we slowly and slowly remove those material layers from our life, then our life will become very simple, not that many problem comes. For myself, I can say that, I don't have even small fever or anything for last 4 years, never become sick. I never feel tired. So many good things. So you can see that what else do I need in my life? As long as Krishna allow me to chant his holy name, observes reading about his wonderful pastime, how kind he is, we can see all these things and we can realize. I still remember the washerman, that when Krishna entered in Mathura, first he saw the washerman and he was just cleaning the outfit of the King Kamsa. Krishna asked him, give me one and give one to Balram. He didn't ask for all the cowherdmen and all other, just 2 pairs of sets. And he denied. But Krishna went there because it says that in last 1,000 life, he was praying to Krishna that I want to see you, Krishna, face to face. Now Krishna appeared, but he didn't recognize. Why? Because he has the bad influence, bad association of Kamsa. So even though Krishna came to fulfill his desire, he didn't recognize. But then he went to the next, is the weaver. He went there. And weaver doesn't have that much clothes. Whatever he has, Krishna says, can you give me some fabric? And the weaver just unlimitedly, whatever he has, he give it to Krishna, he give it to Balram, he give it to all the cowherd boys. And it says that the weaver went back to Godhead in the same life. So ultimately in our life, we have to come to this really strong conviction should come that without Krishna, my life is vacant. He is the one who is giving me the strength to walk. He is the one who is giving me the ability to speak. If he doesn't want me, I can't be able to even utter one word. And we have seen it happen. So ultimately, we have to become dependent. And when we become completely dependent, then in reality, we will become totally independent. We will be so happy. And Krishna wants us to taste that happiness, even within the material world. And we see all the devotees that they sacrifice. Look at the example of Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj. Look at that, how much they have to go through. The elephant was stamping on them. They were throwing him from the top hill into the valley to kill him. So many things, so many serpents, so many abominable things they try to kill. Nobody succeed. And this is the greatness that Krishna wants us to. Through our life, we should set something, the good example, that other people will feel inspired, that yes, this process works. Look at that man, how he lived. Once we surrender, then Krishna will assist us. Externally, we may be suffering in other people, common people eyes, but internally, you will relish everything. Like Bhishma Deva, every arrow was coming from Krishna. He was relishing. Now the arrow penetrates through your body. Do you think there is no pain? Lots of pain. But he was relishing. He was feeling, oh, Krishna is shooting the arrow. So I think any problem we should not see as a problem. Keeping the living the life as it is. Try to chant more rounds no matter what it happened, good or bad. Don't dwell on those things. This will keep on changing. This is the material world. Nothing will be steady. If you think that, okay, my life will become steady, that's illusion. Everything in this material world decays. It's keep on changing. So we will solve one problem, other problem will be ready. But if you see as a problem, but whatever it comes, this is the way it is, I accept it, Krishna. And I think it's good. You know, actually, Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, in one of his Vyas Puja book, he offered Srila Prabhupada that I'm so becoming painful seeing the suffering of all this humanity in the universe. Please, Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj pray on this Vyas Puja day that please bless me that I can take the reaction of those, all the humanity, let them live happily and I will suffer for that pain. That's Vaishnavas. Great personality. And if we associate with them, if we follow in their footsteps what they did, it will give us also the impetus to follow in their footsteps. We are very minute, we don't have that many qualifications. We shouldn't be proud. We just live very simple, humble life. Try to do whatever you can and absorb more and more in chanting the holy name. And everything else will become adjusted. I don't know if that answered your question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Actually, you gave the key words to advance in our devotional life. Like we should depend on Krishna. Whatever things happen, we should accept.
Yes.
And what is the great things Prabhupada gave us practically? Actually, he gave us the Vaikuntha.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Prabhu. You have a lot of realization because you have been practicing long time. So once we advance more, then these small things, remove.
I'm the most fallen of you all. But only thing is, at least by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, I have lots of faith in the holy name, that's for sure.
Yes, Prabhu.
Anything that is happen, I just, make my schedule, Prabhu, Sarva Tarak Prabhu. And as long as I absorb that many hours in my life, either chanting, or reading, or writing, or listening the class, my day is successful. And this is what I intend to do. I have nothing, anything, I have no anxiety, Prabhu. It's everything I set up automatic. My social security money come, it goes in my account, and all the bills is automated from my account, and some whatever purchase we need to do, I carry only one credit card, and whenever my wife or they wants to purchase, they use that card, and I set it up that end of the month, whatever balance is there, just deduct from my account, and it's working out good. Everything works out good. And
Yeah,
no
we have to
anxiety,
make casual like you did. Sometimes
yes,
unnecessary things. We involve in unnecessary things. So we
yes,
should not give importance of these insignificant things.
right.
So then we can get out. Otherwise, like we cannot
This is
follow the
vicious cycle, Prabhu. Yes, this material life is vicious. You won't be able to cross over with our own plan. We just have to take shelter. That's the ultimate thing. And I think it depends when we will come to the realization. So that's the point. When you realize it, then you will act on it. Hey, and you see it, Prabhu, that Krishna will reciprocate with you. Then you get your more strength and faith. Your
Yes,
faith
yes.
becomes stronger and stronger. As you face the difficulty, you will become more stronger. That, hey, yes, it does work. And what is, nothing, what suffering is there. So I think that's our life is like that. I would like to go because Saturday they have the youth program at the temple, and the youth give the Bhagavatam class and everything. So at least I would like to show my presence to appreciate that effort to come and take active part. They were young youth, 12 to 16-year-old. So I think I was planning to leave early, but because of the question we delay. But at least I
Thank you.
will leave
Thank you
now.
so much, Prabhu. You are doing your plan is wonderful, especially in Houston. Sometimes I want to see and go and get your association because you are the role model in USA.
No, I don't think so. But I'm a useless person, unworthy. Whatever you see good in me is just because of the mercy of Guru and Krishna. And whatever nonsense you see in me, that's me. That's how I see.
This is your humbleness. So give your
No,
blessings.
thank
I
you very
think
much.
Madun Kundo want to say one sentence, then Prabhu can
Yes,
leave.
yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm looking forward to come. Just believe me, I'm really meditating which Wednesday I would like to go. It will.
We are my daughter is thinking, I think she's switching that day. I think Tuesday will be good for you, right? Tuesday?
Any day, yeah. Tuesday will be much better because then Thursday my deity worship will
Okay.
keep on going. Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to do this week Tuesday. Then let's see how it works. Then I'll let you know in this week.
No, this Tuesday I have commit this.
Not this Tuesday.
Huh.
Next coming any Tuesday.
Coming Tuesday we can do that. Yes,
Yeah,
because
students.
there are some Chinese devotees in China, and Ramapat Swami Maharaj visit. So he said that why don't you help them to establish this Zoom call in China, give them training. So I'm gonna talk to them on Tuesday afternoon. That would be their morning over there, and see that what they need. I will help them. If they need, I can tell them that all this meditation, I can give you the recording, you can play, and then you can read whichever book. Somehow or other, Maharaj has assigned me that please assist them. So that's another task I would like to fulfill.
Okay,
The
thank you.
devotees are very sincere.
Let's see which Tuesday is better for us. Then I'll let you know.
Yes. Yeah, let me know. I will have to go. Otherwise, I will be at the end of the class.
Okay. Thank you so
much. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that their life can also become successful and totally fearless. I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas who take so much austerity to join early in the morning from Houston, from India, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Austin, Alachua, College Station, Tempe, Phoenix, San Jose, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, New Orleans, Baltimore, Portland, Dhaka, Jacksonville, and where is that Camila joined from?
Guatemala.
Oh, Guatemala, huh? Right. Panchakalpatru
Panchakalpataru Bhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhagavad Sapati Tamni Pavane Prabhu
Namo Namaha.